When I think back to it all, there was a time when our family was perfect, or at least, that's what it felt like to me. Lagos was bustling, noisy, and alive, but our home was calm. Papa was a senior staff at his company, Mama stayed home to look after us, and we had everything we needed. I never thought that anything could change the life we had. But then, Aunt Bissy started calling. It was a warm afternoon, and I had just finished my homework when I overheard Mama on the phone. She was standing in the kitchen, leaning against the counter, with that familiar smile on her face, the one she always had when talking to Aunt Bissy. "Bola, you need to think about coming here," Aunt Bissy's voice crackled through the speaker. "The UK is like heaven compared to Lagos. Everything here is better. Healthcare, schools, the roads. There's no reason to keep struggling in Nigeria when you could have a better life for the kids. You don't know what you're missing." I saw Mama's eyes light up as she listened, but as she hung up the phone, her smile faded. She didn't say anything to us then, but something in her seemed to shift after that conversation. A few weeks passed, and the calls between Mama and Aunt Bissy became more frequent. I remember one evening when I found Mama sitting in the living room, the phone pressed to her ear. I sat quietly, pretending to read a book, but I could hear everything. "Why are you still there, Bola?" Aunt Bissy's voice was sharper this time. "You're wasting time. There are so many opportunities here for your children. You can give them a future you'll never have in Nigeria. Don't you see how much better things could be?" Mama didn't respond right away. When she did, her voice was quieter than usual. "But Bissy, it's not that easy. We have a life here, a home." "A home," Aunt Bissy interrupted. "A home that could crumble any day. Don't wait for something to go wrong before you make a move." When the call ended, Mama sat in silence for a long time, staring at the floor. I wanted to ask her what was wrong, but something in her eyes told me to stay quiet. It wasn't long before Mama started talking to Papa about moving. At first, it was just a suggestion, something light, almost playful. But after each phone call with Aunt Bissy, her tone grew more serious, more insistent. "Teo, Bissy says the UK is the best place for the kids," she said one evening. I was in the hallway, pretending not to listen. "They can get a better education, better healthcare. She says there are so many opportunities we're missing here." Papa looked at her for a moment before shaking his head. "We're doing fine here, Bola," he said gently. "Why would we sell everything and leave? We have a good life." But Mama wasn't satisfied with that answer. I could tell that Aunt Bissy's words were working on her, making her question everything we had. Papa, in his quiet wisdom, decided to seek counsel from Pastor Emeka. He told Mama they should pray about the decision, and after a few days, he had his answer. "Bola, the pastor says we shouldn't rush this," Papa told her. "He had a revelation, and it's not a good time to move. He says the coast isn't clear, and we should wait for a better opportunity." For a moment, it seemed like things would settle. Mama nodded quietly and didn't bring it up again, for a while, but I could see it in her eyes. She wasn't convinced. One afternoon, Mama went to see Pastor Emeka herself. I didn't know what they talked about, but when she came back, her face was set in determination. "What did the pastor say?" I heard Papa ask later that evening. "He didn't discourage us," Mama said firmly. "He said we could make our own decision. We can't keep waiting for signs. Bissy is right. This is our chance to build a better life for our children." The arguments between Mama and Papa became more frequent after that. I hated hearing them fight. Papa wanted to wait, but Mama was convinced that leaving was the right thing to do. One evening, after another long phone call with Aunt Bissy, I watched Mama pace the living room, her frustration palpable. "It's time, Bola," Aunt Bissy said through the phone. "You've waited long enough. Sell the house, the cars, everything. I'll help you settle in when you get here. You won't regret it." The next day, Mama and Papa announced they were selling the house. At first, it felt exciting. We packed up everything, sold our belongings, and said goodbye to Lagos. I didn't understand the weight of what was happening. To me, it was just another adventure. But Mama, she seemed so sure, so ready for a fresh start. When we arrived in the UK, we stayed with Aunt Bissy, crammed into her small flat. It wasn't long before things started to unravel. I overheard bits of conversations. Something about a court case between Aunt Bissy and her husband. Mama looked worried, but she kept telling us it would be okay. Then, one day, the court ruled that Aunt Bissy had to leave the house. We were homeless. I remember the cold, the way Mama cried quietly at night when she thought we were asleep. Papa tried to stay strong, but I could see the strain in his eyes. Everything we had built in Lagos was gone, and now, we had nothing. Eventually, we had to return to Nigeria. But home wasn't home anymore. We had sold everything. There was no house to go back to, no familiar comforts. My brothers and I were sent to stay with different relatives. I didn't see Mama smile for a long time after that. Maybe we should have listened, I overheard Papa say one night. Maybe we should have waited. Mama didn't respond. She just stared out the window, lost in her thoughts. Looking back now, I understand that Mama wanted what was best for us. She believed in the dream that Aunt Bissy painted, a life of endless opportunities in the UK. But that dream wasn't real, at least not for us. Our journey tore us apart. It broke the family we once were. I still see the cracks in my parents, in our lives. And now, all we have left are the memories of what we lost. We thought the grass would be greener, but all we found was emptiness. This is a lesson I want others to learn. Sometimes, it's better to cherish what you have than chase a dream that may never come true.
What do you think was the biggest lesson from this story? Was it about the value of family, the importance of resilience, or something else? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video, share it with others who need to hear this tale, and subscribe for more captivating stories from across Africa. Your support helps us bring these narratives to life. Thank you for watching.